What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Tesla. We are heading off to look at a jet ski actually, but we're obviously taking this beautiful thing. We're going to look at a 2020 Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid coupe, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're going to look at today. We're going to check out some interior stuff, some of the driver's dash and whatnot in there, center touch, you know, that jazz. So let's get on the road. Let's go see that jet ski first, and then off to that 2020 Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid coupe. Let's roll. Side note, I don't really know why Tesla does this, but like 41, 41, 41, 40, and then you get like the PSI warning thing. It's kind of weird. Anyways, we're at the jet ski, so let's go check out this jet ski, see what's going on. I don't think it's running right now, but that's what we're here to figure out. Looks like we have a 1200 XL 1200 limited Yamaha jet ski. Probably needs a new battery is my guess. Supposedly there was a lot of work done. The engine looks pretty clean. But yeah, it's been sitting outside for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Not too shabby though. I think we need a tag for the trailer. We obviously have to get this running. I don't think we're gonna be able to take it to the beach with us this year because we're leaving in a week, but yeah, we got some dry storage compartments. Oil and gas are separate, which is nice. You don't have to mix them. It is 2-stroke, looks like a 3-cylinder. Not bad, not bad. A little rough shape, but it might run fine. On a completely other note, I'm at my parents' house now. And well, last time I was here, my parents just had the driveway nice and resealed. And well, I did a little burnout on their driveway. I don't know how happy they were about that, but you know, it was a lot of fun. My mom has a tow hitch on her Pilot, so we're gonna see if that trailer will light up, but obviously I have to take this thing over to the trailer and see, so yeah. Ooh. All right, guys, welcome to the Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid coupe. Yes, this is the coupe version. This is the 2020. It was just taken delivery of. This right here is the charging port. There is a 240 volt outlet, and Porsche comes with this adapter right here in order to plug the car in. But more importantly, let's get this thing out of the garage and see it in the sun, because this is the chalk paint color. Just locked. Let's get it out of the garage. The Porsche floodlights down there, Cayenne, the red leather. This thing looks fantastic. So the interesting thing is you get the analog tack right in the middle, and then on each side, all of those 2 other circles on each side are actually digital. So we go ahead and put our foot on the brake. We have the key over here. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that. And just like that, the car's on. Just like my Tesla, it's actually silent. So yeah. You can see e-power right here. We have, it's in E, which is electric mode. You can obviously do hybrid, sport, and sport plus. So we're gonna leave it in E mode and pull the car out. All right, first and foremost, check out this chalk paint color. It looks fantastic with the acid green calipers and acid green outline for the e-hybrid that this car comes with. It's the acid green, just like on the 918 Spider, the hypercar that Porsche makes. Acid green around Cayenne. Now the difference with the coupe versus the regular Cayenne is obviously this, it has a more drastic slope, and you also get this little rear spoiler here. So that's pretty much the difference. The only other thing is you're gonna be paying an extra $5,800. Yes, $5,800 for a smaller coupe, which is very peculiar. Back inside, so if we go ahead and start this thing up again. All right. So here we can see this is an analog tack, again with the acid green needles. You have the acid green digital needle for the speedometer. Again, analog clock in the center, also the acid green, very nice touch there. Outside temp 86, yeah, it's very hot. We have fuel at the top, and then I guess power at the bottom, or how many mpgs you're getting. And then over here you have the direction that you're driving. It's just a little compass. Up here is a pretty sweet, this is actually an all digital display. When you navigate through some of the things, if you don't have your hands up to it, on the left side you'll notice that it disappears. There's a little menu. Now watch this, as I bring my hand up to this, another menu appears right here. It's like it senses that you're coming up and gonna select something. So that is pretty neat. Also up here, you can see that we have car, phone, media. That's all down here as well. So this is kind of like a haptic touch. There's buttons here, and if you push on them, you can kind of hear some clicking. But it is a more haptic touch. This is full touch, so it's a little bit different. You get a little bit of a click here. Now some things that are interesting is you can kind of see, even though it's not active, it says sport. See how it says sport right there? That's actually not a button. I can't do anything with it. So it's just a blank button that's still there, because actually right here on the steering wheel, because there's more than just a sport mode and non-sport mode, you actually just go to the steering wheel and change this to hybrid. You can see it says hybrid auto. We can switch it again to sport mode. It now says sport and the engine kicks in. And then we can go to sport plus. And you can see it now says sport plus, and everything sort of changes with this. And that button actually does nothing. You can see we can even put it in sport mode. And this is just a blank button that, again, does nothing. It's kind of weird that Porsche would include that, but you'd think with having these like touch buttons, they would get rid of that stuff, but they don't. Again, this car looks fantastic. I love the feel of the steering wheel. You have the paddle shifters right on here as well. And the interesting thing is, if you put this car into Sport Plus, this is actually a button right here. And if we push this button down, you get sport response for 20 seconds. So it's kind of like a 20-second boost gauge. After that 20 seconds wears out, I would assume the battery charges a little bit more, and it's not as much power on demand. But if you were going to pass somebody or anything like that, that is an awesome feature. Then it just goes back to normal. If we click it again, you get sport response for another 20 seconds. So it is pretty neat. For example, if you're on the highway or something, you just want to pass somebody, you know, when you're on a single lane road and you get little dashes where you can pass, that's fantastic. Super cool. Now these seats, there is a cooling feature. So in some cars, again, just like the Sport is a blank button, this is actually a blank button unless you have the cooled seats. And this is a fantastic touch. It feels absolutely incredible. You can see all the ventilated holes on these seats. It is a very nice touch. Also, again, the chalk all throughout the interior, and the red seats with the black accents, and then the awesome Porsche steering wheel with all of the controls built right into it. Very, very cool car, very well spec'd. I absolutely love the color scheme going on here. The e-hybrid acid green. I mean, I need to get this car out on the road. I don't think we're gonna get it out today, but soon. All right, now some other things to note. If we check out the rear view camera, you can see that this is actually looking at the front of the car, the garages. But as I turn the steering wheel, you can see that the camera angle actually changes. When I turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, it looks more to the left. Now I'm gonna turn the steering wheel to the right, and you can see that it gets rid of some of the view on the left, and then it actually starts turning to the right. That's pretty sweet. Now, if we put the car into reverse, obviously we're gonna get the rear view camera. Again, that's the BMW X3 M40i. You can see it's kind of skewed. I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like your depth perception is then off. But I do like, again, if you turn it, you can start to see more to your right. And then if you turn the steering wheel to the left, you can see more of the left. So that is kind of like a nice feature. And then obviously you have the top-down 360 view camera as well. So pretty neat stuff that they have there. You can hit the side views, which is pretty crazy. You can see each side of the car going back as if you were looking at the side mirrors, panorama, parking. And that gets rid of more of the fisheye when you just do the parking camera. But you can see that you can switch between all of the cameras right in this interface. So it's quite nice. One thing that my car does not have that I really like on this is sometimes the rear camera gets dirty and you can't even see out of it. So you either have to get out of your car and go wipe it off, or you go right up here and hit this clean button, and it actually sprays water across this rear camera to clean it off, which is a pretty awesome feature. All right, and then last, if you want to get out of this car, you obviously put it back into park so we can get rid of some of the cameras, and then you just come over here and you can turn the key to the left, and the car turns off. Again, you get those digital displays on each side, and then the analog tack right in the middle in true Porsche fashion with the left side key here, even though it's not really a key. Let's go ahead and hop out and check out some things. All right, so again, we have the vented back seats. You have 4-zone climate control. So again, another sort of like haptic screen that lights up when the car's on, and each person can control the temperature for each of their sides. You do get some USB-C charge ports as well as a 12-volt charging outlet. Not too bad. There are 3 seats in this car, whereas I think the Turbo S actually only has 2 like executive style seats. So definitely nice to have those 3 seats back here. You have the full glass panoramic roof with the slider that covers that. The crazy thing is, you can see on this car that you kind of get like the nice sloping coupe rear line to the car. However, you don't lose headroom, because if you see, the top of the car is actually taller than where the sloping line is. So because it's a coupe, you still don't lose headroom too much sitting in the back, which is quite nice. Like, I'm back here and there is a ton of space up here as far as legroom goes, and then headroom, it's pretty decent. Like, I still have another couple inches, but it definitely does get a little snug towards the back, but it opens up really nicely with this panoramic sunroof with no beam going across the middle of it. So that is an awesome feature right there. Now, what's interesting is this car does actually have a rear wing. So if you look here, there's a brake along here, and this whole piece actually lifts up, but it only deploys at high speeds. Now, there is a cleaning mode, so you could flex on people when you're parked, like so. All right, so if you really want to flex on people, there is actually a rear spoiler that lifts up on this car, and you can deploy it, but it's for cleaning purposes or at high speeds. You can't put this up, I guess, normally. At least that's my understanding. So the way you can do that is you just come right into here, you click spoiler, and you can see that it turns orange. Anyways, this car, I love the spec on this car. Absolutely fantastic. The chalk paint with the chalk interior as well. I like that touch. The cooled ventilated seats is incredible. You get the little sport dial over here. So when you put into Sport Plus, the car turns on once we turn the little key here. There we go. Sport Plus mode with the dial. You get the manual shifters right on the steering wheel as well, which are actually attached to the steering wheel. So as you're turning the car, the shifters are always right there, ready to go. I like that. The analog tack, the acid green touches. Fantastic car. This thing's awesome. We got to get it out on the road. So real quick, just wanted to also show all of these digital components that light up when the car is on. You have the touchscreen up here. These are like the haptic touch controls, but once you turn the car off, they go black, and well, yeah, everything just kind of disappears. It's a nice clean aesthetic. I do really like that. So like most cars, there's like this standard outlet that cars use. So the Porsche is just like that. This charger gets plugged right into there. My Tesla could actually plug off of this because the Tesla comes with an adapter that plugs into here and then plugs into my car. So the nice thing is, if anybody, you know, gets one of these Porsche plugs, I can actually use it to charge my car as well. Whereas my Tesla cable, the Porsche couldn't charge off of it. And that is the Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid coupe. Yeah, the coupe just means it basically slopes. Here's 2 pictures. You can see the coupe next to the regular one, but yeah, you get more of a slant. And you also have to pay $5,800 more for less space. It's kind of weird, but that's just how they do it. All right, honestly, the M40i sounds better, but I think that might be because some cars these days are putting limiters on the cars when they're in park, so that you can't just rev it and blow exhaust into the air. Another reason why we gotta get this out on the road. See how it sounds, see how it handles. Check out the difference between the driving modes, putting it in E-Power, and seeing how that handles. I don't know, this car's pretty sweet. So it does get, let's go into here real quick. So if we scroll down and go to hybrid, because we have the e-hybrid, you can see that we have E-Power, Sport, and Sport Plus all right here, but E-Power, Hybrid Auto, E-Hold, and E-Charge. And it stays where it is. But you can see right here the E-Range, The miles dashed out because I think it is very low on battery. Now if you go to hybrid auto, it obviously tells you exactly what's going on. But this is a nice feature, so you can come in here and see the exact range. I believe this car only gets around 14 miles of all electric range. Obviously that's what you can plug in and charge for, and then only drive in electric mode and not have to use any gas at all, which is pretty cool. I think 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. Now the difference is if you get the Turbo SE hybrid, 0 to 60 in I think 3.6 seconds. So much better, quicker than my car. However, this one is slower than my car, even with the electric powertrain. So it is kind of interesting. You'd think it would do better than most of the other Cayennes, but the e-hybrid's actually on the slower side. It is actually 0.1 seconds slower than the e-hybrid non-coupe version, so that's also interesting as well. There's a little button under here that you push up on, and then you can slide this thing back to go into drive. You can see we're in drive now, or you can pull it up and go all the way forward to go into reverse. And then here, just push that in to go to park. I wish there was a little bit more like clickiness to this shifter. It feels, I don't know how I feel about this feeling. Everything else in the Porsche feels very secure and solid, and the shifter, I just feel like it's lacking. But maybe just have to grip it more, I don't know. I just wish it sort of like clicked into place better. Either way, not too bad. Love the cooled seats. It's feeling fantastic right now, and this says it's 100 degrees outside now, but I think it's like 85. All right, it's been a very long day, but we got the jet ski running, so that's what's important, because now I might be able to take this on my vacation. But yeah, I'm pretty amped now. But I hope you guys enjoyed the 2020 Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid coupe video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching.